Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of Dashisms. We're still on the cruise, still at 19,000 feet. We're approaching Odigi, which is just north of, well, Carlisle is just down there somewhere. I reckon. That's where potentially it. That's the Solway Firth which we're overflying. So yeah, Carlisle's below those clouds. So about an hour's drive north of what do we do now? Anyway, so it still thinks we're somehow going to burn a ton of fuel and we're going to be in the air for another 50 minutes. But okay. Right, if I wipe the go around there. That's an issue with the coding, because there we go. It got messed up by the go around. We've still got a 40-minute reserve on landing, which we need. Okay, so as I said, VNAV. So we'll look for the 2,500 feet foot altitude restriction. You've got 2,900 at CI23. So waypoint number 5. Wouldn't be level 2 miles before. Total descent is in about 5 miles, I want to assume. Yeah, that's 12 miles. So what we can do is we can arm VNAV, the VNAV function, and set our next altitude to 2,900 feet. I can now switch the seatbelt sign on. There we go. I had it on because we went through some turbulence whilst I was away from you guys. Seatbelts are off, seatbelts coming back on. We'll also get the speed for the landing. So actually what we'll do is we'll land flaps 35 just from the crew training, even though the runway is, actually we'll do it 15, we'll do 35 on the next trip. Aircraft gross weight on landing will be 24,000 kilograms, 24 tons. VREFs 117 knots. Will be glide slope descent speed, and then about coming at through about 500 feet. That's when we start the acceleration. Okay, 40 knot crosswind, which is why we're kind of pedaling it, and we'll clear the ice in there, so we can switch all this off. Oh, that's cool. So I do that and it de-ices the prop. Do that and it de-ices that prop. That's pretty cool. I get it now. That's just manual controlling of the anti-icing system. Don't know why you want to control it manually. You generally get pretty even ice secretion all over the aircraft. I've just realised my audio is going to be absolutely shocking for this first part because the microphone was on the ground. I'm now really loud. Sorry about that. I didn't realise my microphone actually fallen off the desk. So yeah. Okay, we should be following the VNAV profile. VNAV path, there we go. So we can pretty much pull about just over flight idle. As well, just for a little bit of housekeeping, we'll scroll the heading select wheel to our present heading. So yeah, it's very, I think this is, I can't really tell if this is OBX Scotland or FTX Global UK. Yeah, FTX Global. I'm not exactly sure where the Scottish border is around here. And cabin crew, 10 minutes landing. Cabin crew, 10 minutes landing. Thank you. "45 miles till you need to be level." Actually, yeah, I'm going to go to flight idle for this stage because I do need to let the airspeed wash off a bit. We're also flying an ILS approach into Glasgow, so I'll just pull the charts up so that I can get us a accurate profile information, guidance, shenanigan. Things like frequencies and all of that good stuff. EGPF, Glasgow. It's so awkward if it wasn't Glasgow. I just didn't to EGPF, called it Glasgow for the duration. So we'll aim to vacate via Delta taxiway, probably the best one, or hotel. I've vacated Bravo before, which was weird, but it's sorry, we'll have vacated on a Charlie taxiway, and then go to stand number Quebec. Sorry, Lima 12. So the ILS 23 approach, we'll be intercepting on a 9.8 DM, 8.9 mile final, so about 9 mile final, at 2,900 feet, and descending it down from there on the ILS. We're category 2 today, so we've got category 3 and 3B available, but we'll be taking a decision height of 104 feet on radar. So yeah, let's rock some rolls. So barometric, and it's 104. And it wants the DH bug. A bit of extra power. And we're back in icing. It's not as bad as it was last time though. Alright, we'll just leave all that. We'll leave it on until we get onto final, and then if we've still got icing on final, we'll add 20 knots onto final approach speed, which will actually just stick in there as the secondary bug. So 137, which will be landing speed if we still have icing on finals. It's quite quick actually in the dash. So we're accelerating again, no faster than that. See, it's quite misty in Scotland today. Well, that's Lanark. Lanark is above a place called Lanark. I actually met some guys from there doing the quiet aircraft recce finals because they were the best in Scotland at it. So we're not that far to go now. I'll just get weather, which will just give us the black screen, which is what I want. Da 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 da. Da da da. So the ILS frequency though, we need to put that into the nav1 radio now that we've done DH bugs. 110.1 on I, and the ident is IOO. (1101). His side will take ILS1, and that's going to be a course of 231. You'll see why we're doing it on this side in just a moment. Right, we're not going to be visual on the aerodrome yet, but it's 10,000 feet, so we're a bit fast for 10,000. I'm just going to pull fully flight idle now. Just have the aircraft literally just jump on the brake. Overflying Lanark with a vertical deviation of 4 feet, which is actually remarkably accurate for what the kind of flying that we are currently doing. QNH here is 1012 hectopascals.
1012 hectopascals even. Hectopascals. Because we ain't Americans, so it ain't a hectopascal, it's a hectopascal even, no, it's a hectopascal. HPA. If you want to be 100% accurate. Yeah, it's not much for me to talk about at this stage during the arrival, because we've got everything configured. We'll be using we'll do a flap 15. The next leg we'll do a 35 because we can. I need to find a short enough runway for us to warrant a flaps 35 landing, or make us heavy enough on a shortish runway to do a flaps 35. It's pretty miserable weather in the UK at the minute, so we can't really go up into Scotland much because there's not much in the way of navaids up there for flying in these kinds of things. It's pretty accurate weather. We'll just take the windscreen wipers. Ice detected. Oh, popped out of the clear stuff. That's Glasgow down there. The airfield's probably hiding behind that pillar. Yeah, I've got quite a bit of icing going on outside, and the rain stopped. So these go off and park. Sorry for the lack of textures on the ground. For some reason, I never used to get good frames, but now I do. But now I don't. Now all this just takes ages to load in. Sorry guys, I'm just getting distracted by various things. Final approach fix isn't that far out now. We're going to be level 2 miles before, so we've got 10 miles of descending left. Then we'll give a cabin crew 10 minutes, cabin crew take your seat call. And then we'll just jump on the brakes and start slowing it down on the ILS. I'm doing quite a bit of filming today, because the problem I've got is I've got to go and pick my sister up from theatre school in a few minutes, so I can do a long haul trip and just leave the sim flying unsupervised. Obviously not flying on the VAT sim net for blatantly obvious reasons, but doing something like a 757 trip from Glasgow to New York, which is done by United Airways. They do that. They're doing that trip at the minute. I could do that. You know, leave it for the 5-hour segment whilst I'm out and about, doing all the stuff I have to do, and then do the landing into New York. But yeah, so the aerodrome should be over there somewhere. Yeah, it's pretty much 90 degrees off my left wing now, apparently. Yeah, it's just beyond the river. There it is. And I've got it. Just above the 4 what look like blocks of flats. It doesn't look like we'll be able to deviate much below profile here because of the rather nearby hills, which this is going to take us quite close to. We've got 2,800 in the altitude book. That just jumped since I last looked. Okay, alt sound, we'll on that, because we're 1,000 to go. So it's going to be quite intense, because we're going to have to jump on it, go around this turn, sit and stick the ILS approach on, which is going to be, as I say, very, very quick. So I just had, that's heading 231 on. I'll then hit heading select, and then switch the nav source over to ILS. Hopefully we've got one. Then hit nav mode. Alt star. Power's going to come off now. But hopefully we'll be able to intercept the... We're quite close to some terrain here. You're 1,800 feet above. We are slightly below glide path, but it's still very close to some high terrain. Closer than I'd like to be. Loc star. Okay, we'll just arm approach mode now. Which means loc star and glide GS will be starring in a couple of seconds. So we're on the approach now. So, approach checks, landing lights. Taxi's off, that's on, that's on, that's off, that's on. Cabin crew, please take your seats. How are we doing for icing? Ice is gone now, so all of this can go off. Which means we've got 117 knot VREF. We're on glide path now, so just pull all the power right back to flight idle. Prop lever's going to go to max. In just a second, there we go, max. And bleeds to min, which is over up there. Reset could be done. Okay, that anti-ice on the right engine for some reason didn't come off, but it's off now. Okay, we'll take flaps 5, and then flaps 15. Okay, and I'll adjust. What's our DME? 7 mile final. A little bit early for the gear, but we're lined up quite well. We're visual. So at about 5 miles, I'll put gear. Well, actually, we may as well. Decelerate the aircraft to VREF, hold VREF, bring the gear in, and be done with it. Because it is, as I said, air traffic control will give you shortcuts if it's not particularly busy. Gears down and locked, all 3. So yeah, we landed with the reserve I anticipated we'd be landing with. Oops, that's just we're going too slow now. I'll take about 40. I think the flight we'll do after this. As I say, we're probably going to do a 7.5 flight. Go to somewhere further afield. Could do a TriStar out of here. Yeah, we'll keep a little bit of extra energy to take into the flare manoeuvre. That's what we'll hold this airspeed. Since the aircraft's established at that speed, I'm not going to mess with it. It's within the tolerances for VREF. Got about a minute to land till landing now. And we just need to eke a bit extra. We've got maybe 18, 19 from the power. Okay, 20 watt 2. It's very easy to get stick shaker. We'll now take the audio. Okay, it's getting a bit on the slow side. Yeah, autopilot off. Your damper off. Okay, I'll fly in by hand. Somehow we've just got ourselves very, very high. And I'm just looking at the runway now.
500.
Establish fast power please even. And we'll just hold the power please. We're getting below again. It's very easy to do that if you're coming in from a high position to go too far under and get low. If you look at the ILS, I'm slightly off ILS, but I'm flying visually now, so it's no big deal.
Light slow.
I'm a little on the slow side though. Okay, going back down again. Again, very easy to get high during this stage of the approach if you think you're slightly low.
Plus 100. Too low. Flaps. Minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
Too low. Flaps.
Over the threshold now, so no big deal with the puppies. Flying. Not bad. Either that was a hard landing, and the aircraft didn't register it particularly well, in which case it wasn't a hard landing, or, I don't know. I'm going for the vacate. So, flaps can come up now. Upstairs. Okay, so stand was going to be the gate Lima 6. Just work out roughly where Lima 6 actually is on the parking map. So we vacated via Delta taxiway and Lima's a left. And then, no, we're going to take a left turn, you don't want to follow me. You see, that's not frozen, that's just the model for sometimes freezes in mid-air, because everything else, if there was somebody taxiing past, you'd see them moving. But that's actually the Dash 8 that's frozen itself, because it's decided it can't deal with this anymore. So folks, we've successfully completed another trip with the Dash 8 Q400. I've got to say, it's one of my very favourite aircraft to fly in FSX. And whoa! And in other flight simulator platforms, such as Prepared, which, because I've flown it on somebody else's Prepared machine and it was far absolutely amazing. Power on, starter on, generator on, that's on. So then when we arrive onto the stand, we're not going to have any issues. Yep, our stand's down here. I believe I can see a one of our trucks just on the left there. So we did select Lima 6, which is on here. Oh my word, Lima 6 is right the way at the top. Right, I'm just going to warp us there because we took a wrong turn. So just warp there. And I can't warp this aircraft. You eat. Luckily it's got a very, very good turning radius. Has this aircraft, for having 75 seats in it. There's the marshaller, you can see him. I missed it before. 8. Okay, now we'll take the taxi up because we'll be entering the stand in the next couple of seconds. It's about another 40-minute flight on the Dash 8, which is probably the kind of typical leg for a Dash. Right, hang on, there he is, I can see him. Just about make him out in front of all the UK 2000 inserted clutter. That was far too fast. Alright, no, try again. Yeah guys, apologies for how terrible this parking is going to be this afternoon. But, I can only do, I can't always be perfect. What the hell? Right, we'll reverse. Reverse, reverse. Reverse, reverse. Because I thought, hang on, it's actually positioned him in the right place for a change. Reversing helps. It's finally the proper stand we're coming on to now. Parking brake is set. APU generator is on. Both props to start and feather. Anti-ice fully off. That off, that off. I'm timing 30 seconds, I haven't mastered the clock yet. That should can stay on. Alright, that's everything done. So that's our landing fuel. Yeah, that was as planned. But anyway, let's shut down the aircraft down now. So that engine goes to cut off, that engine goes to cut off. I think it's 435 is the ITT, above which you can't cut the engines. So folks, welcome to Glasgow. What I'd like to say is thank you for flying with Subscirbe Actual today on a fictitious British Airways service from Manchester to Glasgow. So, that's it from me folks. As I say, thanks for watching. See you all in the next chapter. Bye bye.